Welcome, foolish mortals.
Time to be turning around. If only you could.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hey, Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around here all day.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
There's no turning back now.
This is the greatest show!
It's coming on the lights. With the runaways are running tonight. Impossible comes true. It's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
Now it's time for the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast with your hosts, Michael Hurley and Gary Aruda.
That's right. This is the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast, episode number 547, recorded from the D. Fauntleroy Studios in Kent County, Rhode Island, and sunny Southwest Florida. I'm your host, Gary, joined, as always, by my co-host and my cousin Mike down in Florida. How you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing good.
What's new in your neck of the woods, Pards?
So I'm messing around on Facebook and I see somebody. We actually have one mutual friend.
Uh-oh.
But he's a guy who has two first names. His name is Nathan. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
We're both friends with him?
No. My golf buddy, Alex Detweiler, friend, is a mutual friend. His name is Nathan Dennis.
That's a good last name.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Nathan Dennis.
I love two first names. As everybody's well aware, we talk about it all the time.
Two first names. I think the female two first names is better, though. It's more rare.
It's a male and a female?
No, two female. Like, if there was there's not even that many female last names. Like, do you know any last names that are a female's first name? Like, you don't, like, Samantha's not a last name. There's not someone out there named, like, Jessica Samantha, which would be very dumb.
I thought we've had it before. I'm looking at all people like that. Here's because I just wanted to see if I'd get another one. If people you may know.
Yeah.
Now here's one because you know this guy's name's Mark Scott.
Mark Scott.
That's two first names.
It is. Yeah, that's pretty dumb as well. Because I think we've seen some of the like two first name for women very rarely, and it's definitely like finding a four-leaf clover.
Now here's one with a female and a male name. I've never heard of this first name. Elainist, Elainast.
Okay, I don't know that.
The last name is James, so that's a female and a male.
Okay. Yeah, it's not as good. I mean, it's okay to do the female and male.
Steve Davis. Davis is a first, right? That's a name.
That's
Davis. No?
Yeah, Davis Love the Third. David Love the Third. Yeah, I don't. Now you're just looking at face.
Doug Corey. You want me to stop now?
Doug Corey's a good one.
Now that could be a female first name too. I knew a Corey that I went to school. High
that's
school.
True. Doug Corey.
Here's one, Christine Holly.
That's pretty good. See, that's what I'm saying. That's very rare.
Oh,
Christine Holly. That's a great one. See, that's hard to find.
Yep.
You have to really dig deep for those female last names.
What's wrong with us?
Although Catherine's a last name, right? Catheri. I've seen that name.
Have you for a last name?
Yeah, like Catherine. So you could have like a Samantha Catherine. That would be a dumb name, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Anyway,
I could do this for 3 hours. So
I'm aware. I think we've done it for 3 hours before.
You know what Kristen said? She said the problem is like you're heading toward the back nine. We're all in our back nine right now, and she said your brain's just going to get worse. She's like, so like she had always hoped that maybe I'd come back and be normal, but she's refined to the fact that it's not coming back, and if anything, it's going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, because eventually you won't remember that you said this stuff,
It's
and
I
so you
still-
won't be repeating it to annoy her. You'll be repeating it because you don't remember saying it 35 seconds ago, which is worse. Like if you ask
That's
her to
true.
smell your sandal, and then 25 seconds later you ask her to smell your sandal again, and you're not doing it because you think it's funny to ask her twice in 30 seconds. That's going to be a concern, don't you think?
I agree.
For her especially. You just asked me that. Oh no, I didn't. Uh-oh. That's what she's gonna drop. The uh-oh. That's not good.
Sandal.
So, it's dumb because that's exactly what you would do, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I've asked. Yeah.
You've asked a lot of people.
That's not normal, is it?
No, you're probably one of the few people that's asked probably more than a dozen people to smell your sandal. Like it's gotta be over 12, right?
Oh, it's at least.
That's what I'm saying. Probably over 12 people that listen to this podcast you've asked.
I don't know if I've ever asked Alex if he wants to smell my sandals.
Well, next time you play golf, check it off the list. He's listening right now, so you might as well.
He just listens to the beginning and then that's it. Once we
Yeah,
get
well,
into
this is the
meat
beginning,
of the
so-
topic, he's gone.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Me too. I'm the host. Speaking of, should we get into it, or you have anything else stupid you want to talk about?
No,
before we go?
no, I'm good.
No, okay. So you just recently went to Walt Disney World. You had a little 3-night trip?
3 night, yeah, we did 3 nights at the villas at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa.
And if you want to hear about that, you could tune in next week to our other podcast, Addicted to DVC. You're going to do a trip review over there.
And while we're plugging that, tune into this week's episode of Addicted to DVC, where we talk about the new tower at the Polynesian Village.
Yeah, the Poly Tower, the Island Tower is what they're calling it. Yeah, so tune over there, but we'll get into it. We'll have some things on this podcast that we talk about in regards to that trip, and one of them obviously is food. And on this trip, you ate at a few places that you have not been to before. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, we did an episode, as a matter of fact, about places that I should maybe check out. And that this place came highly recommended, did it not?
Yeah, by myself, if not among others. And we're talking about, and if anyone can read, they already know because it's the title of the episode, but we're talking about the Garden Grill restaurant in the Land Pavilion at EPCOT Center.
Yes.
Which is a place that every time you say it, it shocks me that you've never eaten there, because that place has been around forever.
Forever.
It's right in your
Forever?
wheelhouse. It's one of your favorite places, and it's just one you've never gone to. It's got the breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's open all the time.
It's open all day.
But it's all you care to enjoy, which is a good thing. But you finally went, and you had dinner or lunch. I know it was.
Yeah, we did dinner.
Okay. Not difficult to get a reservation, I imagine.
No.
You said when you were there that you could have basically got a reservation anywhere,
Anywhere, yeah.
which is crazy. Well, let's get right into it. We also, I've eaten there once before, about 6 or 7 years ago, and then we ate there again in July. So we've both eaten there recently, so we could discuss the current menu and what we thought about it. We'll also talk about breakfast a little bit, which neither of us have had breakfast there.
Right.
But we could discuss what the menu is and if we think it's worth it at the price point compared to our experiences at the dinner and all that good stuff. But I suppose we should start with dinner. And it is the Chippendale Harvest Feast at Garden Grill, $62 per adult. Children ages 3 to 9, $40. It's all you care to enjoy. On the menu, you are started off with the harvest-inspired garden salad featuring tomatoes, olives, garden peppers, and croutons, and some cornbread with honey butter are brought to the table. First,
And a lot of that salad is grown in the Land Pavilion.
Yes, that is correct. Yep, they did mention that. And that salad I thought was fantastic, by the way.
Let's. I mean, it's a perfect starting point because I thought that salad was phenomenal. It was fresh. It was crunchy. Everything on it was good. The croutons were good. A lot of times I'll throw some stale croutons on. The salad dressing was amazing. They coat it for you and they put the perfect amount on. That's a 10 out of 10 salad as far as I'm concerned.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't mess it up with stuff that doesn't go with stuff. They keep it simple. There's
Banana
no, like,
peppers, huh?
yeah. But none of like the weird stuff that you don't like dried cranberries or pears or strawberries or anything like that.
Very simple garden salad, and it was perfect.
Good dressing too, just like a simple
That's what
like
I'm saying.
house
I love
dressing.
the
Yeah.
dressing.
Very good. And then the cornbread with the honey butter, I thought was out of this world.
And
delicious.
I'll tell you what, Pards, I'm not a big fan of cornbread. And I
really?
had one piece and I could have had 2 or 3 pieces because you were right. It was delicious.
It was nice and warm. At least ours was. It came over warm. The butter melted right on it.
Butter
The
melted
was really good.
perfectly. Yes, sir.
Sometimes you get cornbread, it's really like dry and it's almost like you're choking it down.
When you're putting the butter on, it just crumbles and you have to eat it out of your hand.
No, this wasn't like that at all. It
Nope.
was perfect. Came in those little skillets. It was fantastic. Yeah, that was so good. It was such a good start to the meal. And then they bring out the platter, which it says on here. I don't remember getting this. Maybe like carrots and celery with ranch to dip it in. I don't remember.
Yes.
Getting that.
Yes.
Okay, you got that? We might have gotten
did.
it, and I don't remember.
It was such a nice addition because, yeah, you'd eat I have the salad, and then I grab like a couple of carrot sticks and dip it in the ranch, and it was delicious. Yes.
Oh, nice.
So unique, but yeah, yep.
And then they bring out the platter, which has grilled skirt steak with chimichurri sauce, rotisserie roasted turkey with gravy, mashed potatoes, green beans, seasonal vegetable, which we had like zucchini, squash, onions.
That's exactly what we had. Yep.
And then they had the macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
That came out as well.
Right.
We'll go right through it. The macaroni and cheese I did not have.
Okay, I actually did try. It was excellent.
Okay.
And Susie had to talk me into it because I had no interest because the platter itself looked amazing. But toward the end, I did try the mac and cheese. It was fantastic.
Really good. Okay.
Very good.
I like mac and cheese, but I've had Disney mac and cheese. It's not my favorite, and everything else was so good I didn't want to waste the
space. No doubt. No doubt.
So I skipped out on that. But the girls liked the mac and cheese. That was a big hit when we ate there. I'm not, I know you love turkey, and know I don't love. I'm not a huge fan of turkey. The turkey was really good,
wasn't it?
The turkey was really good. It tasted almost like it was slightly smoked. I don't know if it was. It
had a tiny bit because Kristen said she wasn't a huge fan because she doesn't like smoky, but it was a hint of smokiness. I thought they coated it perfectly with the gravy because I don't like it when it's too overpowering with gravy. And I'd grab a couple pieces and with my fork and just dip it down below on that platter to soak up some more gravy. Throw it on my plate.
It was nice and juicy. It wasn't dry at all.
Yeah,
like it. I don't know if they keep it in a brine after they cut it to keep it nice and moist so it doesn't dry out. But whatever they do, it was really good. The mashed potatoes were good. I mean, nothing crazy. They were fine. The mashed potatoes.
Okay, so let me get into the mashed potatoes real quick.
All right, let's talk about it.
Kristen wasn't a fan. My ultimate mashed potatoes, honestly, I like the instant because I like it nice and.
You don't like any lumps. Yeah.
These were almost too perfect because there was a little lumpiness, so it was almost like instant potatoes with a little bit of lumps.
Oh, okay.
So you could tell it wasn't bagged potatoes.
I see what you're saying.
Like I thought the potatoes were excellent. You thought they were okay. Susie thought they were okay. I thought the veggies were excellent.
Now the veggies were really good. The seasonal veggies, I thought they were really good.
Yeah,
but the green beans were
when
out
you
of this
told
world.
me when you told me what you thought about the green beans, I said he's got to be kind of nuts because how can you have this perfect? And the way you described it was exactly how I got it. So it's a
Yeah.
pure, consistent green bean that they're serving because it was a little crunchy, but it wasn't too overdone. Had good flavor, very, very fresh. I mean, these things
Yeah.
on the platter were just like you needed sunglasses when you were eating them because they
So
were
bright
just
green, yeah.
so bright green, weren't they?
Could tell they were super fresh.
Yep.
Not too much, nothing overpowering, like just a little bit of butter, salt, a little bit of garlic, nothing
Yep.
crazy. Yeah, perfectly cooked, just how I like it. You almost want to say like al dente because it wasn't
It
too
was
mushy.
almost because we eat green beans a lot, and there's sometimes because we'll put it in the steamer, and there's sometimes where I'm taking them off, and they're a 9 out of 10 or they're an 8 out of 10, but then you can see some of the beans because they split a little bit because they got steamed just a little too much.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
it's almost like cooking chicken. It is very difficult to get that perfect consistency, but
Yeah,
Garden
because
Grill
if you
knocked it out
if
of
you
the
take them off too soon, they still taste raw. If you leave them
right.
on for like
And
2
then they
minutes
keep
too long,
cooking
they
when
get
you take
mushy.
them out. So you sometimes I'll shock them in like ice water.
Right.
But yeah, really good. And it's pretty messed up when one of the favorite dishes is the green beans.
That just goes to show you how good they are.
Don't you agree?
It's just simple. We talk about that like a good restaurant, which I'm not expecting gourmet food from Garden Grill. It's
Absolutely
basically a
not.
buffet, right?
That's all it is.
But when they bring out something that's just done right, it just could be super simple. You don't have to do anything crazy. It didn't need a ton of salt, didn't need anything. It was just good. Like I ate tons of those green beans. They were excellent. So we've talked about everything except for that steak. And when we got the steak, no one else was in the mood for it. So I
right.
basically ate the whole platter's worth of that steak when we went. And I was thrilled. It wasn't medium rare. It was a good solid medium, I would say.
Okay, Oz was medium rare.
Okay, even
Oz
better.
was very much on the pink side.
Which I don't mind. Like in a setting like that, I don't mind a medium.
Yep.
But it was so tender. Like sometimes you expect that cut of steak to have like a little bit of fattiness or gristle
Much
to
more
it or
grizzly.
something.
Yep.
It was perfect. Fork tender. The chimichurri I thought was very good, very fresh, very flavorful.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about because you can talk about the steak. I want to talk about the chimichurri. It may be better than what I used to get at the Grand Floridian Cafe when I would get my steak and eggs. It was,
wow.
like you said, so fresh. Like you could take a lot of times you taste salt and olive oil.
Yes.
With this, I tasted the basil. I tasted all the ingredients. It was an absolute perfect chimichurri. I thought.
And the steak was good. It was like melt in your mouth.
Yes.
The one thing I'll say about the steak is it didn't even need the chimichurri. I thought it was a good flavorful steak. Like the chimichurri was
good.
great.
Yeah.
But if it didn't come with it, I would have been fine eating the steak on its own. I thought it was that good. Yeah, everything on the platter. Again, the mashed potatoes were fine. I didn't go back for seconds
All right.
on the mashed potatoes. I didn't go back for seconds on the veggies, just the green beans. I stuck with the green beans and the steak. The turkey got wiped out. Everyone else really liked the turkey, so I just had a little bit of that, and I kind of focused on the steak, but the turkey was really good. We did get an extra salad. We did get extra cornbread when they came around because we all liked all those things. The mac and cheese was a hit with the girls. I think that's all Georgina Jr. ate pretty much. She ate the whole platter of mac and cheese. She really liked it. I was very impressed with the food until they brought out the dessert. I was totally underwhelmed with that dessert. Actually,
Well, we thought it was pretty good. We got the I think we got like a chocolate mousse, and then it was like a apple crisp with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, it was like it was an apple crisp, and it was totally undercooked. Like, you know how they put like the oatmeal stuff on the top? It was like eating raw flour. It wasn't.
Oh,
It,
really?
it was really bad. Like
Okay.
no one ate it. I ate a couple of the apples, and they weren't even that good. And then we just ate the ice cream off the top. We were so full. Like, we could have asked for more of just the ice cream if we wanted. We were all so full, but I thought the dessert was disappointing. Maybe it was just a bad batch of it that we had. I remember when we ate there, whenever it was, 8-10 years ago, they had strawberry shortcake
Oh, that
as the
sounds
dessert,
good.
which was
Yeah.
good, like fresh berries with whipped cream and
Yeah,
the
hard to
little
mess
cake.
up a strawberry shortcake, right?
Yeah, and that was really good. So I was anticipating that as well, and then we got the apple, which we didn't really love. But that didn't really take away from the experience. We also the character interaction I thought was fantastic. Especially with the girls,
Really was.
they love Pluto, they love Chip and Dale, Mickey, obviously.
Really was.
They were by the table maybe 3-4 times each throughout
You're
our
right.
dinner.
Yep.
It wasn't that crowded when we went at the restaurant. A lot of open tables. The way they have it set up in there, if listeners haven't eaten there, you're basically insulated from everyone else. You're in these really high booths that face out towards the
land.
ride and towards
You're
the
right.
land. And you don't see anybody else. You feel like you're the only ones in there. You can't see the tables next to you, behind you, anywhere. It's a really good setup for that.
Yeah, what's interesting too is when we were walking to our table, there were a ton of just solo two tops.
Oh, really?
And I thought for sure we were going to have just a solo two top, but we were actually a 2 next to a 6.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad because they were cool. And then the people who were seated after, because they were having dessert when we got seated. Then the people after that, we talked to for a while. So it was cool. But you have a really good chance if you're just a couple to get a solo two top because they were divided by those walls, as like you were saying.
Yeah, yeah. Because we had a big booth and like we were basically isolated from everybody.
Okay.
And I love the rotational dining, the
Love it.
rotational restaurant. Going through and like you wait the whole time to get to the living with the land part, and it's so cool. It lives up
It's
to
so
it.
cool.
Like you start seeing the ride and you're just like, this is incredible.
Now, our server was amazing. He actually spent a lot of time talking with us, and he was telling us that farmhouse, which is one of my favorite parts of any ride,
Yeah.
that is actually a replica of Walt's childhood room. Did you know that?
I've heard that. I didn't know that it was true. I had heard that.
And he said that they leave the light on in that room in remembrance of him.
Because that was his room. Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting.
And then we got into the discussion of that's kind of the stuff that they used to do back in the day.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know,
too.
you got a room that nobody can see on a ride.
Yeah, and then
Because it's off to the side, so only the people in the restaurant can actually see into that room. Well, who actually looks into that room who was eating in the restaurant?
Yeah, exactly.
Not many.
No, not too many.
But it was I mean, it's cool that they used to do that stuff back in the day.
And I don't know about you, but I wasn't rushed at all. I'm assuming you weren't either. I felt like
We
it
were
was
not-
so laid back.
It was so laid back. Our server was amazing. He was fantastic. Character interaction, again, just like Topolino's. If it's just the two of us, they can tell. They'll come over. Like Pluto asked me to pet his head. But they could tell they'd be there for like 30 seconds and then just wave and head over to the kids who really wanted to see them. But
Yeah, like if you wanted to take a picture, you could have taken pictures.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But they got it. They understood. Yeah.
And like Mickey came right toward the end because Kristen's like, we haven't seen Mickey. And then she had to go to the bathroom and then Mickey came.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I miss Mickey. And then like it was weird because literally like 5 minutes later, he came back again.
Hmm.
But like Chip and Dale were fun. Like you really see Chip and Dale.
Yeah, they're good. They're good to interact with. They play along. They're good. It was great. Like we had a great time. The girls like talking to the characters and just super laid back. Like it was our server was good as well. And I felt like, especially at that kind of place, like I was tracking her down to pay the bill. Like I'm
Yeah,
like,
usually they're throwing you the heck out of there. Like
I'm like,
he
we'll
was
take the
constantly
check.
filling up my soda. It was awesome.
Yeah, like the girls were starting to get antsy, like they wanted to go. So I was like, we'll pay. Here's, we already did the we had the dining plan, so I just had to like leave the tip and everything. But
Yeah,
kinda
because
got
usually at a
screwed,
place like that, you're still ordering your chimichurri and you've got your bill on you.
Yeah, exactly. Like at Ohana, they'll be dropping the drinks and the dessert at the same time. They bring
No,
everything
they're
at
asking to
once.
put a credit card on file before they
Yeah,
bring you
get
the
the hell
bread
out.
service.
Get the hell out. How was the steak? I don't know. We just sat down. All right, well, here comes the dessert. Be ready for it. No, I feel like it's a super laid back environment. It's really good food. Crowd pleasing. I can't imagine there's too many people that wouldn't find something they really like on that menu
Now,
in that platter. Yeah.
you want to talk about what they have for breakfast?
Yeah, absolutely. So at breakfast, it
Because I
is.
think after doing this dining, we have to check out the breakfast, don't you think?
I'm tempted to try the
See if
breakfast.
it's
Yeah.
as consistent as it is in the evening and afternoon.
The only thing with the breakfast, it's not that much cheaper. It's $47 per adult,
It's
30
a
per
hard pill to
child.
swallow, isn't it?
That's an expensive breakfast.
Yeah,
At
it
least
is.
at a buffet, it's like, all right, there's going to be a lot of different stuff. This is the simple stuff here. We have breakfast pastries and fresh fruit. We have Mickey waffles, bacon, potatoes, scrambled eggs, and then backyard grilled steak. So there's steak at least. So it's probably the same steak as dinner.
Yeah, I'm
Just
sure
like-
it is. Yeah, it's just like a roast beef, right?
In a sense, it comes with a farmer's ranchero sauce, which I don't know what that is. So it's probably the same exact steak as dinner, just with a different sauce.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good. And again, the character interactions are going to be the same. The restaurant's the same, which is a fantastic restaurant. But for me, I'd rather pay the extra $13 and have that dinner.
I agree with you. I mean, we were walking around the beach club the other day. We went to Beaches and Cream, so walking around the beach club and they were seating for dinner. And I was just looking at the prices for the buffet over at Cape May Cafe, and it was the same thing. It was like a $6 spread. And I'm like, all right, so I'm getting shrimp, I'm getting prime rib, I'm getting this, and this. And for $7 less, I can literally get scrambled eggs and breakfast
Yeah.
pastries and sausage and bacon. Like it is really hard to justify that breakfast price.
Well, at Cape May, think about it, though. There's no characters at dinner.
Right. So you are paying for that, but still for that,
Yeah.
I mean, for a couple dollars less, that's tough.
That is. I definitely wouldn't talk someone out if they have their heart set on going to that breakfast. I'm sure it's good. Like based on the dinner, the quality is going to be there. It's not going to be, bad food. Especially if
Because
that
I like
steak's
the
this
play
good.
of having a big breakfast and then doing some small bites, or especially if you're over at EPCOT to do food and wine or whatever the festival they have, and just doing some light bites
Yeah.
and then going back for dinner somewhere. But
Oh, absolutely. Like that's a perfectly acceptable breakfast. 47's a lot. How much is Topolino breakfast? 55 or something like that?
yeah, again, Topolino's just such a good deal, I think, especially because it's a character breakfast.
And you get a full like you're ordering off a menu and it's
Right.
a little different, Like it's a lot. That's a lot for breakfast. If I went with the four of us, I'm at $200 after
Yeah,
tip
you're
for
200 with a
breakfast.
tip. Yeah, I guess,
That's
if
a
we're
lot.
doing a golf trip, we're all just paying for ourselves out of pocket, then $47 is fine. But yeah, for me and Kristen, you're looking at 100 change. For you and the family, you're looking at 2 change.
Yeah,
That's why when you do,
especially when your Gina turns 10 at the end of this year. Now she's an adult. Now she's $60 for that breakfast or whatever, 47. Like that's a huge difference.
you don't play the game, you don't play the tall. She's tall for her age game.
And she
or-
already is tall for. They've already
Right,
probably think I'm a
exactly, yeah.
weasel.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know how much they crack down on that at the food at the dining. Because like on the Magic Bands and stuff, their ages are all synced up, so they could just like scan the. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to be a.
That's insane. No, 10 years old. I mean, a female adult isn't getting the value there,
Right?
let alone a
have it-
10-year-old girl. Give me a
Yeah.
break.
An 11-year-old, all of a sudden, it's like, all right, now you got to pay $60 to go eat at this place. Like she's
Just
all
tell her
she's
to
going to
keep
eat is
going.
chicken fingers and mac and cheese. It's tough.
Just tell her to just stay on living with the land. Just go on it 10 times. We'll see you down the
Yeah.
lobby. And
We'll
an
grab you
hour
an
and
ice
10.
cream bar afterwards. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. No, the breakfast. I mean, yes, I would try the breakfast on the dining plan. Maybe that's the way to go with that. But the dinner's on the dining plan, so you're still getting a better bang for your buck going.
Right,
For dinner.
exactly. Yeah.
So pretty much whichever way you slice it. If it was $8 less, if it was like $39 for an adult, just you get close to that $50 for breakfast.
Yeah, just
that's
even
a lot.
like keep it in the high threes, and psychologically, you think that you're getting a halfway decent deal. But when the
Yeah.
first number's a 4, it's hard. It's just hard to swallow.
For breakfast. Yeah, absolutely. Like I always go back to my favorite breakfast place, which is Boma. That's $37. $10 less than that, and that you're getting a full buffet with
Oh
tons
my
of
God, it's so good.
options.
So good.
So again, that's a tougher pill to swallow. Now, granted, you're not getting characters, you're not getting.
Who cares?
You're not in Epcot, but Boma is so much better. I already know it's going to be better just because there's more options. You get carving stations, you have all the like authentic
Asparagus.
flavors. Yes, there's so much more. It's really tough to justify, but I can also see like if your kid is crazy about Chip and Dale and you want to have that breakfast,
They know
then
how to. They know
do,
how to
yeah.
attract them. They know how to
Yeah, for
bring
sure.
you in, don't they?
Yep. But yeah, I guess it would be high on my repeat list for dinner because it's really good.
We talked about that because we're both impressed. We're trying to compare them to other all you care to enjoys. And we
Okay.
both agreed it was better than our most recent Woodies. Would you
Okay.
agree?
I would put it very similar. Yeah, I would say it was better. It was a better experience. The characters are really fun.
We liked the food. We liked
way
everything
more
better
laid
than
back.
Woody's.
But it's
We liked
closer.
it better
It's
than
closer than you think.
Okay, not for us.
Okay. Yep.
We liked it better than Whispering Canyon.
I agree with that.
We liked it a tad bit better than what's the one at the Magic Kingdom? Liberty Tree.
Okay. See, I haven't been there in a while. That dessert's so good that might push it over because
Yeah,
it's
that
very
Woody
similar.
is, yeah.
And the dessert is really good.
Yeah, this is definitely repeat. We both that we would love to go back there.
Yeah. No, it's a great meal, especially for families, especially in Epcot. There's nothing else really like it in Epcot. There's plenty of good food, but if you have picky eaters and you want that sit down, you want that like crowd pleaser, that's the place to go.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's great
definitely
for
the place
adults
to
and
go.
great for kids, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you have people, oh, I don't feel like Mexican, oh, we don't want to do, teppanyaki or whatever, tepanito.
Tepanito.
They don't
It's
want
not like
that,
girls are craving French food, rich French food.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely a crowd pleaser for sure. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm sure we'll be back there. And I would really like to try the breakfast. I just don't know if I could justify that cost. It's a lot. It's a lot for breakfast.
Especially now that we're all moving into bedroom DVCs.
Yeah, that's true. We can start cooking our breakfast.
Making some nice omelets.
I could make that whole spread for about $20 for the whole family if I go to Publix
I
and get
know.
some good sales. I don't know. Anything else you want to add about Garden Grill?
No, I got nothing.
It's a nice restaurant. And I just can't emphasize enough. If you have not eaten there,
So
it's just such a nice experience. It's so
all the
unique.
years of going on that ride and looking upstairs and saying, someday I'm going to go, I'm going to go, I'm going to go. And you just, because it's EPCOT, because they have so many options, because you can walk outside and go over to the beach yacht, Swan and Dolphin, Boardwalk. I mean, there's just
Right.
so many options for food that it was always on the radar, but just a tad bit under the radar.
Yeah, it wasn't at the front of your mind because there's so many other places you wanted to try. But it's good. It's solid. And that could easily be a phone it in type of place.
It really could. It really could.
But I think the quality's there.
Yeah, definitely. Quality is definitely there.
And right from the start, like you said, you get that salad and you just dig in and it's so fresh and you're like, oh, this is going to be good.
It's just setting the table. It's it's like
Absolutely.
taking 9-10 pitches and getting on base with a walk. You're just setting a trend right there with that salad and the cornbread.
Yeah. That cornbread is good. That cornbread is good. Like, they could get away with that platter with just one of the meats. They could do just turkey, salad, cornbread. They could skip the steak completely. I mean, you need to, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be good enough. Like, people would be like, oh, it's all right. It's not bad. Because the other stuff makes up for it. Like, the green beans being that good, the salad being that good. But, yeah, that steak really was good. It was a solid. Like, I would order that steak as an entree.
Yeah, when we were done, he came back and we got some more of the steak and the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we got one more steak and turkey, but like when he brought the bowls, I mean, it was just, there were probably 7 pieces of turkey and a ton of beef.
Yeah,
it was
a lot of the steak.
beautiful.
Yeah,
because that's the other thing. I mean, they brought you a good amount of food.
The first platter was
Because you go to Whispering Canyon, and it's almost like, want you to get the hell out of here because you're going to ask for more sausage. We're going to give you 1 sausage link and 2 pieces of bacon with 5 people at the table. And it's like, okay, I guess,
right.
We're not going to keep asking. Then they're going to make you wait 20 minutes to get that sausage link.
I've noticed that there. They definitely aren't quick with the refills,
that?
are they? Yeah.
No.
I don't know if it's intentional or because they're busy, but I've definitely noticed that.
Yeah, that time that we were there last year for Christmas, it took forever for us to get our additional platters. And even when we went with Gentleman's Trip with Doug and Schaefer,
First platter
remember when we were
took
getting
forever.
more platters? It took us a while.
Yeah, they're slow.
And we
there.
were running
you would
late
think,
for our
like,
tea time.
You would think that place, it's all ready. You just got to slap it on a skillet and bring it
They're
out.
not making those. They're not making that fresh.
Yeah, it's not like they're in the back. They're like, oh, crap, this guy wants ribs. Let's throw them in the smoker. I mean, they should have a million.
Be available in 14 hours.
Yeah, they got 3 options there. It's not like it's a surprise what we're asking for.
Yeah, that's definitely a place that's gone downhill because the first few times I went there was amazing.
And it's fun. It should be so good. It's a fun
It should
place.
be so good, but it's just it's not on my list at all.
No, me either. We even stayed there and we didn't even think about going there. That says a lot, doesn't it? When we're
Yeah, it really does.
You know. But I don't know. I don't have anything else to add about Garden Grill or otherwise. Should we wrap things up?
Yeah, you can wrap things up, Hearts.
All right. You know where you can find us online at WDWBTG on all your socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube at WDWBTG. WDWBTG.com is our website. You can find all the links to the podcast there. Subscribe wherever you download podcasts. Leave us reviews. You can find us on Facebook at our Facebook group, WDW Beyond the Gates Podcast Family. You can join us over there for some good discussion. You can email the show info at WDWBTG.com, Mike at WDWBTG.com, and Gary at WDWBTG.com. Is there anything else you'd like me to add?
Nope. You hit on everything there, buddy.
Nailed it. All right, that's going to do it for episode number 547 of the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast. For my co-host Mike, my name is Gary. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. M-I-C
See you real soon.
K-E-Y
Why? Because we like you.
M-O